What's going on, Double Lift? GameLeapers. It is, of course, the Jizz back at it. Hope you're all enjoying the 11.9 patch so far, and in this video, you will find out the 10 champions affected most by the massive buffs and nerfs thus far in 11.9. And there are some big swingers in here because with each patch, guys, there are a bunch of changes that influence the league meta, that influence our mood, our win rate. So to know which champions you should or shouldn't keep playing for the rest of this patch, stick around for the next 10 minutes or so. Now, as you smash that sub button, if you haven't already, so you don't miss our red hot content, a quick reminder to all of you out there to head on over to our GameLeap website for the best exclusive league content going around. If you want to unhard stuck yourself and climb the ranks, then all you have to do is swipe your dad's credit card and you are in. Daily challenger tier content at your fingertips. Links as always in the description and comment section. Alright, let's get into it, and we're going to start by revealing the 4 champions, guys, who have improved this patch in the win rate department. And starting us off, we have a champion who got directly buffed in 11.9, and this has seen her win rate improve by 1.5% across the board, especially in higher elos. So if you want a jungler to play for the rest of this patch, guys, Kindred is a really good shout. Yeah, she might be harder to master than chem tanking it with Skarner, but the rewards are huge, and you have serious 1v9 potential, and the buffs this patch have certainly helped. The lower cooldown in your queue means you can not only clear camps faster, but also get back on the map quicker, because you can queue out of base, and you can get around certain areas of the map quicker, whether you're jumping over walls to invade and steal the enemy camps, or jumping over walls to get a good angle to gank a lane from. This adds up, and how can we forget that your Q's damage also increase at each rank, and seeing as you max this first, this is big. Your clear again is therefore faster, and in turn it's easier to acquire your marks, and your ganks and dueling are both stronger too. Now it's true, this meta is all about full clearing junglers, but this is why Kindred is great. Yes, her early game isn't that great, but you can pressure pretty much all of these full clearers. Whether you invade after taking your red buff first, or invade after taking your red, blue, and gromp, full clearers hate getting pressured. You know, they just want to clear their 6 camps without any hassle and, be on their way. But your Q allows you to jump over the Baron or Dragon wall without being detected by common wards the enemy team might put down, and you can have a big impact. And you never know, we might even see a bit of Kindred at MSI. Now, the next big winner of 11.9, guys, is a bit more, well, it's just strange, actually, because Olaf didn't exactly get buffed, but the Viking is starting to pop off again thanks to one item buff in particular. And this patch, guys, Riot decided to buff Death's Dance, so it's giving more attack damage and armor, both important stats on Olaf. So if you decide to go with the standard Gore Drink, Hysterics Gauge, and Death's Dance Trinity, this is actually a very strong 3-item spike. You have a bunch of damage and cooldown, sustain, and tankiness to withstand a lot of damage thrown at you, especially if it's attack damage. It's true that Olaf is worse off since the start of the season because of all the direct and indirect nerfs in recent times, but you can still full clear quickly, which immediately makes him playable at the moment, and if you can get a kill or 2 under your belt, it's very hard to deal with you, and this has seen his win rate increase by almost 2%. Now this next champion, guys, I'm quite proud to say I called it in our top champions video for this patch that Ivern was going to be one of the best picks, and guess what? The prophecy is true. And the main reason why Treebeard has unleashed in the last few days, guys, is because of Airy, the keystone, and how it works wonders with the new Shurelya's. Yes, Moonstone got buffed, I can hear you Ivern mains yelling at me, but stop building it. Yes, this Mythic's heal is stronger, but have you seen how good the new Shurelya's is? The movement speed in this meta is so valuable for peeling your carries, and the ability haste Mythic passive also comes in clutch. I mean, ability haste is one of, if not the most important stats on Ivern. This means you will be shielding more, giving your allies more movement speed more often, and think of doing this to a Jinx, for example, or any bruiser, or any champion. It's extremely underrated, so get on it, guys, before it's too late. Now, the biggest winner of 11.9, who could it be? Is it a mage? Is it a marksman? No, it's a fighter, and this fighter is Sett, whose win rate has increased by 2% since 11.9 hit the Rift. So if you're thinking of playing a top laner for the rest of this patch, lock in the comb over. And I also just want to shout out mid Sett here, guys, who on paper performs better than top Sett. You're a very scary matchup for any popular assassin you might see, like Zed or Katarina, and even for ranged mages, you always have kill pressure because of how squishy they are. So yes, this patch, the balanced team enhanced your bonus AD ratio in your W. So the more AD you have from items, the harder your W is going to hit. And they also buffed your ultimate's bonus AD ratio by 20%, so more of that item AD you have is getting pumped into your ultimate's damage. Now what does this mean? Well, it's simple, right? You are going to get more kills and have more chance of carrying a game. Now it's important to note that your build hasn't changed, so it's still optimal to rush Blade of the Rune King, then Stridebreaker, then Hysterics Gauge, so try not to get too seduced by the new Death's Dance and Wit's End. Now it's time to dampen the mood, guys, with the 6 champions who are not as happy as the 4 we just mentioned from the 11.9 changes, and as we get into them, if you enjoy this series, let the Jizz know by hitting that like button. And yes, the first champion we have to talk about is a champion similar to Sett. He loves Stridebreaker and he loves Hysterics Gauge, but the nerf to Garen's W has seen him drop 1.7%. And some of you I know are going to be really happy about this because the Beyblade can cause a bit of carnage in lower elos. So basically, it's taking longer for Garens to get their max resistances, and this means, guys, that they are actually killable because they're not as tanky. So when you get your Trinity Force on Wukong or Divine Sunder or Nasus, don't be scared. Now this next one is a real meme, guys, because Taric's win rate, get this, has dropped a similar amount, but he didn't get a nerf this patch. He actually got buffed. So how on earth has this happened? Well, there was one interaction Riot took care of, so to speak, that has shown us Taric's true win rate, his true colors. So if you were one of those Taric players funneling with a Master Yi, those days are now over because your R, E, and W no longer channel on champions who aren't on the map. So when Yi alpha strikes, he is coming out of that animation on his own, thus making this combo a lot weaker. And without the Wuju Bladesman by your side, it's obvious that Taric is just a weak champion despite his Q mana cost getting buffed. It's funny because Taric mains don't even fully max this first, so it's pretty useless. Now speaking of useless, well, this champion is still useful, but Riot did Heimerdinger so dirty this patch. Now keep in mind the Donger guys is barely played, but because he was a little too oppressive with center in the bot lane, the balanced team took a chunk out of his W. And like, I don't know if one of them ran into this combo in one of their silver gold ranked games and hated life, but what about the other champions that work well with center? They didn't get nerfed, so I think someone at Rito just can't dodge wrenches. Where's Patches O'Houlihan when you need him? This has seen Heimer's win rate drop by 2%. Now one of, if not the most broken champion from last patch, guys, got hit in 11-9, and honestly, I'm pretty sure you guys who main this dude will be happy about this because he's banned less and picked less. So Vladimir is therefore more playable. It's just that, yeah, he is a little weaker. So your Q's cooldown got increased at later levels, but it's still low enough to bloodsuck your way through the laning phase, and your synergy with the new Hextech Rocket Belt is the nuts. The magic penetration is a huge bonus, and this mythic power spike could well be the scariest on the Rift. So your win rate is down, of course, but Vladimir is still in a good spot. Now, just before we get into the two champions most worse off this patch, let the Jizz give you one last friendly reminder to check out the amazing GameLeap website for all your League of Legends needs. Like, do you want to climb? Do you want to improve? Well, that's what our videos do, guys. They are made by challenges and are designed to get you to that next level. Links down below. Now, beating Vladimir to the second biggest loser spot, and we ain't talking the TV show, of 11-9 is a jungler slash mid laner who copped 3 nerfs this patch, and these have seen Diana's win rate drop almost 3% in just a few days, guys. Now, if you're playing mid Diana, no real worries, you're still performing at a high clip, but jungle Diana is for sure feeling these nerfs. You're getting less armor as you scale into a game, so the later it goes, the squishier you are for attack damage champions. You're not regenerating as much HP, so if you come out of the jungle with some health missing, it's going to take a little longer to get back to full HP, and your bonus attack speed you get from your passive is down earlier in a game, so your clear speed is slower, your conquer stacking is slower, and your skirmishing isn't as potent. Now, individually, these aren't huge nerfs, but collectively, they do stack up, and as I said for jungle Diana in particular, you are a shade of your 11-8 self. So much so that your win rate has dropped closer to 4% in the jungle. So you can still pop off, of course, but it might be wise to play mid Diana instead. Now, I'm excited for the biggest loser of the 11-9 changes, guys, because I said in our worst champions of 11-9 video that this guy would be one of the worst, and some of you didn't believe me. In fact, one bloke said he was unsubbing. Well, my friend, it's time to resubscribe because Hecarim has plummeted in the win rate department, and he has gone from the best jungler in the game to one of the worst, and that's because he got completely gutted. Less armor means you're squishier and less healthy when you're farming jungle camps. Less damage in your Q stacking means you're not getting as many kills and you're not carrying as much, and your E's damage is down, and this results in the same thing. Less kills and assists, less wins. Oh, and not to mention the Turbo Chem Tank, your best mythic, got nerfed as well. And this is substantial for Hecarim because more movement speed equals more damage because you're passive, and you're now getting less of it from Chem Tanks active. All of this is added up and has resulted in Hex win rate falling close to 5% in just over 48 hours. 5%! And I'm not going to lie, and I'm sure this will resonate with some of you out there, but I'm pretty happy about this because I was getting a little tired of seeing Hecarim picked in every lobby. So those were the winners and losers of 11-9, guys. Leave your thoughts, your rage, your emotions in the comments. And until tomorrow's video, this has been the Jizz. Bye!